Hi there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All Educational Videos channel. We are continuing with Scratch tutorials, we are continuing with learning Scratch blocks, and in this video we are going to try to learn how and when to use Scratch block, which is named glide seconds to some position. Okay, let's go to Scratch to see that in action. In a few previous videos we were learning some motion blocks, then we jumped to set size block, then we are going back to this motion blocks, the blue ones, the first group of blocks. Okay, so what are we going to do with this new block now? Let's, for example, if we, for example, wanted this butterfly to change his position when the game starts, like flying in some random undefined way, the one way to do it would be to use this glide to random position block. So click on the butterfly. So far we have defined his size to 50%, and we have defined that he should be starting his life in this game from some random position. Only 2 blocks so far. Okay, so let's first click on this block to see how it will work without attaching it to when green flag clicked. And this looks really nice so far, and it does exactly what it says. Butterfly is gliding 1 second into some random position in space, and we can change that 1 second to something else, like for example 2 seconds. Now it will look slower, and also we can change this random position to something else by clicking on it or by dragging some kind of other block into it. I don't know, I'm not sure if I have shown you that before, but for example you can drag all of these operators block, which are numbers. If you remember that before, you can drag and drop them into these motion blocks for X and Y position and so on. So for example, if you want to rotate in some random number, just do this. If you want to go to some random number position between 1 and 10, add it to this, and so on. So just go wild as much as you want. We're not going to use that in this particular example, but as you have seen me changing this to 2 seconds or 3 seconds, it will only look slower and slower. So that's not what we need here. Let's turn it back to 1 second. But if you watch closely, you can also see that sometimes butterfly is flying, moving, gliding into some position which is shorter or longer, and that is defined by this block, this field random position, which means what? That means that sometimes, because it says a random position, sometimes for example from this point where the butterfly is now, sometimes random position would mean go to concert, sometimes it would mean go to level 1 button, sometimes it would mean go to cat. So what's the problem here? It's not a problem, but it's just important to understand, to know how it works so you can use it for your games better. If I say go 1 second to the cat, because the distance between the butterfly and the cat is long now, the butterfly will have to fly faster to the cat to achieve it in 1 second. But if I say go to concert button, which is almost near to the butterfly, and also do it in 1 second, what will happen? the butterfly has to go to the concert button in 1 second, and he will have to do it really slowly to make that 1 second pass, compared to this go to the 1 second to the cat, which would have to be fast. So just to be aware of it when you click on this button, and yeah, you can see that how it looks slower and faster. The butterfly is moving faster and slower only because he is flying for the same amount of time into longer and shorter distance, nothing else, just like that. Okay, so far so good. We're going to use this here. Let's attach it and see what happens. Well, I already know what will happen, and let's see it. Yeah, it doesn't look bad, but it looks kind of strange. Why? Because butterfly, first of all, he's randomly spawned on some positions on our stage, and he starts flying in a second right away. The way when he spawns, the moment we see him on the stage, the same moment he goes into the moving mode, into the glide mode. And I don't want to do that. I want him to wait a little bit, and if you remember from before, if you click on the control set of blocks, there is a wait scratch block, the orange one, first from above, and let's add it here. And if you're not sure when and how to add it and why, let's just read it from the top to the bottom. When the green flag clicked, that means when the game starts, I want the butterfly to be 50% big, and I want him to go to random position. So far so good. You can try it and it works. And what I want the butterfly to do now, I want him to wait 1 second and then move. So let's see it now. Yeah, it looks much better. It will wait for some time and then move. But the problem here is what the butterfly does this only once. I hope it's already clear to you why is that so, and I have explained it so many times, but let's do it again. The butterfly is moving only once because this, when green flag clicked, is done only once. So Scratch reads code from top to bottom only once, unless you say him to read it couple of times or forever. But if you don't, we didn't told him to read it forever, so we told him do this once, then do this once, then do this once, and do this once, and that's it. End of story. So butterfly ends here. Glide 1 second to random position, and there is nothing below it. There is no blocks below this one. There is anything else here, nothing here, so nothing will happen. How to solve it, how to make it to butterfly fly a couple of times? Well, you can use this, for example, repeat. And now he will fly 10 times in a row with the pauses between it with 1 second. Let's see if it will be 10 times. Maybe 10 times is too much, maybe not enough, who knows. But the main idea is that it looks natural and nice. So if this is not enough for you, if you wanted to do it more than 10, maybe you can define some number here, type 100. If that's even not enough for you, then attach forever block, drag and drop this into forever block, and see the butterfly flying forever on our stage. So our cat will do its own job here, and cat will explore the level, and in the meantime butterfly will fly around, and it will look natural and nice, which is great. What else to say here and to experiment? Let's stop this. Let's stop it here. Well, for example, instead of random position, I could use mouse pointer, but I don't see much logic into it or sense. So for now, the butterfly follows the mouse pointer. You see the mouse arrow and the butterfly goes to it, but I don't like this. I don't find it interesting for game. But maybe instead of mouse pointer, let's change this to cat. So now what will happen? We have defined butterfly to follow the cat forever. How? Well, we told him glide 1 second to the cat, which means what? Move to the cat in time of 1 second, and then wait for 1 second to make a pause, then again move, and so on. This forever block will repeat itself forever. So let's try this, and now it will look like butterfly is following the cat. So they're like playing I don't know what's the word, tag game, or it's not hide and seek, it's tag or something like that. But it looks nice, and you can see how easy it is to make some game by accident or only by experimenting in Scratch. And you can use this, for example, to make some enemies which will follow your character. So you can do it easy, like as easy as this is. This was really fast and easy, but it looks nice and works nice. What else can be problem here or strange? Where, for example, as much as I know, this when you saw, let's change this to random position to see it better. You can see that a butterfly is moving, but we don't see his wings moving. So for example, if I add change costume, next costume, it will look a little bit better, but not good enough. I think butterfly will not look fully animated, but only moving his wings between poses. Yes, so this doesn't look natural. Maybe it looks a little bit better, but I think with this glide block you cannot achieve the full animation of costumes. Maybe I'm wrong. I will try that later on my own, and if I make something useful I will attach it here. But so far I think this glide to random position is mostly used for that kind of actions. If you have some kind of not animated object and you want to move it in some nice fluid way, like for example some elevator or platform which is not live character like animal or human, so you don't need to animate pieces of it, elements of it. You are supposed to use this glide, and it looks nice and it looks fluid, and that's it, more or less. Nothing to see here more than that. I will leave it like this for now on, but maybe later I will try to change it or improve it. For now on I like how this looks, and it looks good enough for our game, and it gives more motion and life to our first level. So that's it for this lesson, and continue learning Scratch and keep on learning on your own, and I hope I will see you soon in next videos. Bye for now.